the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, which is exactly why I batch cook my food for the next few days to make sure that I have different ingredients to work with to create different meals. So that's exactly what I'm gonna show you in this video. I'm a mom of two, I work for myself and I work from home. So I'm gonna show you in real time how I do this very hands-off, without a ton of work and without spending a ton of extra time in the kitchen. But before we dive in, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm a fitness coach and a nutritionist. I've been in the industry for over 10 years. And one of the first things I do when I work with clients is help them build habits for lasting success. A huge part of that is meal prep. More accurately, batch cooking, because people think those two things are the same. Meal prep is typically when you're eating the exact same meal time and time again. Boring, we don't need to be doing that. I have kids, I have two little boys, and I typically cook for the family, so we want lots of variety, and a lot of my clients tell me the same thing. So what we're gonna do is make a few staple single ingredient foods and then repurpose those for different types of meals. We're gonna dive into this prep, but before we do, here's one thing I always want you to remember when you're batch cooking. Always use hands-off methods. If you're working from home, or even if you don't work outside the home, you have things to do. I have things to do. I do not want to be stirring something all day long and spending hours in the kitchen. I want to get this done, do something else, forget about it, and then take it out when it's finished. So to do that, my top suggestions for appliances are an air fryer and an Instant Pot. So we're going to be using the air fryer today. And we are going to be also using the pan to cook the beef. That is one thing that I don't like to make in the Instant Pot. I just find that ground meat in the Instant Pot is not really my jam unless it's in like a chili or something, but you can make it in there. So that's what we're going to be doing. So the first thing we're going to make is one of my favorites, Greek chicken. The great news is we are going to set this to marinate now. We're not going to worry about it until the evening when it's time to cook dinner. And then we're gonna pop it into the air fryer. It does take a little bit longer in the air fryer because I cooked the chicken breast whole, but that's okay. Again, we're doing hands off. So the first step, which I already just poured in, add Greek yogurt to your Tupperware, and then we're gonna add some olive oil. I already got started, but my video got cut off. So long story short, here's me adding the second ingredient. So we have 2/3 cup of Greek yogurt for about 1 tray of chicken, which includes 4 to 5 large chicken breasts, and 1/3 cup of olive oil. And again, you want to minimize not only the time you spent prepping, but the dishes. So I just mix it right in the Tupperware that I'm gonna be marinating it in. So next I added in the seasoning. I added in my oregano and sea salt. So I use about 1 tablespoon of oregano for the whole batch and about 1 to 2 teaspoons of sea salt. So I use about the juice of half a lemon. You can also use lemon essential oil, or you can buy lemon juice, but I think it just tastes way more fresh when you do it homemade. Went ahead and mixed all that in. Want to make sure that it's nice and uniformly blended. And last but not least, we got to add some garlic. There's no limit to the garlic you use.
The limit does not exist.
I suggest using fresh, but you can totally use garlic powder. And we really want to move it around a little bit. I'm going to use a knife to actually get the rest. Really want to scrape it off the garlic press. Okay, that's it. We're done our marinade, super quick to whip up. And now we're just going to add the chicken breast. I don't think anybody wants to see raw chicken, but here it is. We're going to pop that in here and then we're going to shake it up. This is my least favorite part of meal prep, touching raw meat. I know some people wear gloves. To me, the messing around with taking the gloves on and off is just as annoying. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands. So we're done making our marinade. Now we just pretty much mix it up. I just use the spoon to sort of cover all the little crevices in between the chicken breasts. And then we are gonna shake this up, leave it in the fridge. And like I said, we don't even need to think about it. So that's step 1 done, easy peasy. Pro tip, always when you're marinating something, choose a container that is really big and leaves room for shaking. It's the best way to evenly coat something. I know some people use Ziploc bags, but I find that kind of wasteful. The next thing we're gonna do are make sweet potato fries in the air fryer. Very hands off, very easy. And that's gonna be the last thing for me this morning. Like I said to you guys, I'm taking you through my meal prep and batch cooking in real time. So I'm gonna do these couple things, get to work, and then I'm gonna come back to my prep. While I'm chopping these up into fry shapes or whatever shapes you want, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder, if you have an air fryer or if you're getting one, make sure to preheat it. It's just gonna make all the difference with evenly cooking whatever you're cooking and making it nice and crispy when it comes to fries, okay? And by the way, I'm not a chef, so don't come at me if I'm cutting things not the most optimal way. So when it comes to sweet potato, you can obviously have any type of potato. This is just all that I have right now. But with sweet potato specifically, I like to use sweeter seasoning sometimes. So like cinnamon or even like cinnamon brown sugar if I'm being fancy. My family kind of likes it savory. So today I'm just gonna use cooking spray and sea salt. My trusty air fryer is all heated up. I use the Kasori air fryer. It's been highly recommended. I've had no issues with it. I wish that air fryers in general came in larger sizes. I do and I don't because it's already pretty big. As you can see, it takes up quite a bit of my counter. But that being said, if you're cooking for more than one person, you're gonna have to do a few batches. So just so you know, that's how air fryers work. So we're gonna go ahead and pop the sweet potato wedges in here with some sea salt and some avocado oil spray. So this stuff is the bomb. I recommend getting a spray like this. You can use it for cooking in a pan, for your air fryer, for your griddle, whatever. It doesn't add any additional calories, next to nothing. And it's obviously gonna make your food not stick, which is really ultimately what you want the oil to do. Yes, you want oil for flavor, but the important thing is if you're trying to maintain a certain body composition, you want to make sure that you're not over consuming extra fats. So it's really easy for things like oil to add up. So what I do is I just spray the actual basket of the air fryer, and that way it doesn't stick. Here's our lovely sweet potato. This batch in particular got a little bit well done, but that's okay because I like it crispy. And here's the rest. So this can be used as side dishes. I put it in my kids' lunch. It's just super simple to grab as a snack. I like to even dip it in almond butter, or you can even make a version of poutine or like fry supreme with this. If you don't know what poutine is, look it up. It's delicious. Okay, so a little update. I'm gonna make the beef tomorrow because I have enough proteins at the moment. This is real life meal prep. You do a little, you stop a little. It's now the afternoon, so I've decided to make some rice. So I just went ahead and rinsed a couple cups of rice, and I'm gonna be mixing this with some bouillon, whatever you wanna call it. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Is that French?
I speak French, but I don't know. Anyway, this stuff, you can get the powder, broth, whatever. I typically just like to cook it with some type of flavoring like broth. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my Instant Pot, the rice with some water, and mix this in. So I typically put 2 cups of dry rice, rinse it, and then I add 3.5 cups of broth or water, and then add this stuff. And that's it. I just put that in my Instant Pot and I select the rice setting. That's it. Once it's done, you wanna wait like 5 minutes. You wanna wait at least 5 minutes for it to release pressure, and then we're gonna fluff it up. Also, just wanted to note, this stuff, you're supposed to dissolve it in hot water first, I think, but honestly, I'm too lazy and I don't like to use a lot of dishes or time, like I told you guys. So I just go ahead and put my water into the Instant Pot with the rice, and then I literally just throw this in there and just kind of clump it up with a spoon. And then once the rice is finished, I mix everything together with a fork. No one's complained yet. Okay, last but not least, for today, we have the Greek chicken that we marinated in the morning. It is now 3:40. I'm gonna pick up my son from daycare, but first I'm gonna go to the gym. So again, I can just put this in my air fryer and leave my house. How awesome is that? Now, these are whole chicken breasts. They're pretty big, so I'm gonna put them in for about 25 minutes and probably another at least 5 to 10 minutes when I get home. So let's go. Here it is. It looks pretty disgusting because it is raw chicken, but wait until it comes out. It's gonna be delish. All right, guys, I am back. It is day 2. As I told you, I did some of my prep yesterday. Some of my prep is gonna be done today. This is real life prepping. I don't spend like 3 hours doing this in one shot. I do it when I have pockets of time throughout the day. So now it's time to make the beef. So all I'm gonna use is ground beef. I typically do 2 of these small trays for my family of 4 and it lasts us a few days. And all I use is typically a seasoning blend. So in this case, I'm using this shish tawak spices. If you guys can see that. So I got this at like my local grocery store and it's really delicious. It's a Middle Eastern spice. Look it up, it's really good. But you can use any blend. I recommend just using a seasoning blend because it's honestly that much easier. And this video is all about streamlining that prep. And I also add tamari. So this stuff is like a naturally brewed form of soy sauce. It's very easy to find nowadays. Back in the day, it was only health food stores. I got this at Costco. So all I'm gonna do is I've sprayed down my skillet with some non-stick spray like I showed you guys. And we are just gonna fry it like that. Just the beef, the tamari, and the seasoning. While the pan is heating up, I wanted to talk about vegetables. Why are we not prepping vegetables? Because I typically like to only prep the carbs and the protein portions and mix and match those with different types of vegetables and different fat sources. For example, with this beef, I'm gonna mix it with a sweet potato we made yesterday, and then tonight for dinner, I'm quickly gonna make some snap peas or asparagus. Vegetables cook really fast. I don't like to eat vegetables that were like steamed and then, reheated the next day because you're only cooking them for like 2 minutes in the first place. So I just whip those up on the spot whenever I'm eating that meal. So tonight for my fat, I might add some cheese to it, maybe some olive oil, that kind of thing. The fat is something that you don't really need to prepare ahead of time. You can just add it for that meal. So while the beef is cooking, I'll give you guys some more examples of things that I would make using the meal prep that we're doing or the batch cooking. So we made our Greek chicken, the sweet potato, the rice, and the beef. So this is what I call the rule of 2s. Typically I make 2 carbs and 2 proteins every couple days, more or less. And what I can do with these things is the Greek chicken can be used in salads. It can just be reheated and served on its own. I can use the sweet potato as a side. I can use the rice as a side. I can switch up the vegetables I'm serving with it. All of these are ways that I'm essentially having the same main ingredient in different forms of meals. With the ground beef, I can cook up some pasta maybe in the next couple days, serve it with that. I can have it with the rice, maybe put some shredded cheese on top. I really like to make homemade burrito bowls and I can add some salsa, some Greek yogurt in the place of sour cream. And like I said, I could obviously mix up my vegetables. I find ground meat is one of those very versatile things. You can put it on pizza, you can put it in quesadillas. So all you would need for that is tortillas. You don't even need to cook an additional carb, things like that. And with the girls that I work with on Team Strong Girls, that's a big part of what we do. We learn how to take our batch cooking and then turn it into different types of meals. All right, guys, we have our meal prep all done. So the rice, the Greek chicken, which I forgot to show the completed product. My family ate some last night, so it doesn't look like a lot. Sweet potato and the beef. There you go, 2 proteins and 2 carbs. That wraps up our batch cooking. 2 carbs, 2 proteins. I still did my full work days. Didn't really put a dent in anything. As you can see, it's super simple. Make sure to come back to this video anytime you need it. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you never miss a video. I loved having you here with me while I'm prepping. If you have any suggestions for videos you want to see or topics, please go ahead and leave them in the comments, guys. It was so great to see you, and I'll see you in the next one.